Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again. And if you haven't already heard the news, the bans and restrictions that just happened the other day are going to be lifted on December 8th. Bandai made a post and announcement about that today. I mean, if you didn't see this coming, I don't know what to tell you. If you went and sold all your cards, RIP. Like, that's crazy, because there's no way that they were going to keep these for very long, considering they have so many promos coming out of these cards that were banned. So yeah, like in all my videos that I've talked about the temporary ban, that was before even them making a post. It's because it was very obvious. But with the ban being lifted, it means that we got a month of like really fun One Piece. So we've got a month of really fun One Piece and then going into the OPO5 meta. But speaking of banned cards, we're going to hop into a match playing against my man Russell over here using Whitebeard, and I was playing Green Purple Doflamingo. And I thought it was a very interesting match, pretty funny moments in there, so I'll just go ahead and hop straight into it. Alright, and getting straight into the match, we've got my man running the Whitebeard over here. I'm running Green Purple Doflamingo, and a lot of the times this matchup actually I feel pretty good in. It doesn't feel as though this match is, you know, as bad as it can be. It just feels as though, you know, occasionally Whitebeard just sees it. They see the necessary things. I really like this though, and we do see the in 2 years, and yeah, he realized right afterwards that it has to be a character with the event. So does choose to pick up a Sanji 2K counter here, and now I'll just go ahead and pass that first turn. We'll see an 8K swing at life. I will just go ahead and take. He does put down the chopper. I love that little Santa boy right there, looking good. And yeah, we're gonna go up to the coveted 4 Dawn. I do have some options in hand. I could play like a Sugar and rest the chopper, but I'm just gonna go 6 to life. See what he does here. He does choose to take the first one, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go 3 for Usopp and I'll just pass it over. I wanted to have a body on board to be able to present some pressure in the following turns. Would have been nice to have one of those 4-cost vanillas though with the 6K stat line, so I don't have to dedicate a Dawn. But we do draw into a 10-cost Doflamingo here and another Nami. So the hand is looking pretty good, but getting to 10-cost Doffy is always a bit of a struggle. I'm not like super hyper focused on it, but with him playing Frankie, I am thinking of, do I want to pull resources from his hand this turn and play Sugar? Or do I just want to go 5 for the guild? And I do choose to go 5 for the guild here, and I'll just pass it over. Swinging into him, I wasn't expecting him to take every life. I thought that maybe he would counter this one, just to stay at, you know, like that free life. But I guess since he's turning Frankie sideways, it makes sense just to go ahead and pull it so that, you know, I'm not just getting value off of swinging at lead and, or excuse me, swinging at Frankie and him not gaining that life already in hand. But we do see a 7K at lead. I do choose to take. My hand has a lot of blockers, but it didn't have any events or counter power at the very beginning stages of the match. So I was a little nervous if I'm being honest. I was like, I do not have a lot of counter power. I do not have a 7-cost Luffy yet. And the only blockers I could play are to play the... I could end up playing the... oh, why am I forgetting the name of it? Uta or the Queen. But if I play Uta, it does let me potentially get to 10 cost the following turn. And I think this is where I made a slight mistake. I was a little too afraid of the lack of events and counter power in my hand. So I decided to just go for a 6K, or I believe maybe like a 7K swing with guild here and using the Dawn -2 effect. Okay, so we're just going to go 6. I will use the Dawn -2 though to draw into 2. Pick up another 10-cost Doffy, and I don't end up finding any events. We do finally get a Punk Gibson here. I'll go ahead and trash a 10 cost. I'll pass it over. But I've brought myself down to a point where now we're kind of going to be in like a reoccurring stage of 7 Dawn each turn. And I really do need to, get, you know, like that 7 cost Luffy in hand eventually. And it's taken a little longer than I was hoping for. But I think that the better play would have been to play Uta there and then not use guild ability, you know, still swing with guild if I want to, but not be as aggressive with the Dawn minus. But we'll see 8, and then I do use a 2k and a 1k. He leaves 4 active, and I was like, okay, Sugar's not gonna get much value here then if we just see Red Hawk. Red Hawk just comes down, Sugar goes, but I guess we ended up getting the rest on that blocker previously, so you can argue that there was some form of value there. And now I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, what are we doing here? We got 2 10 cost Doffys, so our hand's like a little bricked up more than I would like it to be. I'm just gonna go Sugar for resting the Chopper. I will go 6 to life, Dawn minus 2 again, and yet again picking up another 10 cost Doffy, but we do pick up another event, which is nice. The events are realistically what I was looking for initially. 2k counter, pretty easy counter out right there. I'm thinking probably like 6 with leader or 6 with Usopp or something like that. No, 6 with lead, 5 with Usopp at the Chopper blocker, and then just saving some Dawn for the events. And now 5 to Chopper, just gonna let it go. I will go 6 here. I still am just trying to make it so that if he does play Red Hawk, it feels like a little less convenient, you know, for just a 6k swing. And now I'm probably just gonna pass. Yeah, okay, we're just gonna pass, not play Uta. So I think the 2 events in hand were the restand Spider's Web, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, he doesn't really have to play much here. He can just continuously swing 7, knowing that it's gonna be very difficult for me to get that off the board. I wish that I had a Punk Gibson right here, because just using Punk Gibson on Frankie would just, oh man, it would be so nice. And then still having the other 2 for a restand on the Queen wouldn't take a hit this turn, and I feel like just being able to get some of those out of the way would be really nice. That Luffy and Frankie is, you know, it's just a lot of value he gets for just attaching 1 Dawn here. But we'll see a 9k swing coming at lead. I know that if I take this, I am super susceptible to 5 cost Luffy. It does force him to have it, but with Whitebeard, it usually feels like they do. So, you know, forgive me for playing a little scared, but I just didn't want to give him that value. But I will use the Queen, and then I'll restand it with the Spider's Web here. And now I'm expecting like probably like a 7k swing or something, but we will just see the Nami search. I think he was looking for 5 cost Luffy, maybe, but picks up a Chopper here. Sugar gets to rest that Nami. Now we'll see a 7k at life. I can pretty easily just rest the Queen and give a 2k counter, but I don't think I really have 2k counters in hand. I've got 3 10 drops. I choose to take, oof. And we draw into another Nami here. Still have not seen that 7 cost Luffy the whole game. Felt like that card would have been extremely valuable for me, but it just, you know, sometimes the luck of the cards, it's just not in your hands. Yeah, but I think it all boiled down to that one turn that we decided to use Guild Tesoro before getting the 10 Dawn. I think that was a huge misplay that, you know, set us back a little much. I was just really scared that I didn't have the counter power to even survive the turn after. But all I had to do was play an Uta, and then I could have just used the Dawn minus effect if I really wanted to. But yeah, I think I was a little impatient. I wanted to see some cards in hand that would give me, you know, something to work with. And now I'm just gonna choose to go 6 at one of the characters. I have to use the Dawn minus 2. We're already in too deep now. We do pick up a couple of counter cards, which is nice, but it's a little too late on that. Now we see him pretty easily counter out of this. We are dwindling down the hand though, because we've got Whitebeard essentially to a point where, you know, Whitebeard's now going to have to, you know, not get any future cards in order to, you know, from life or from top deck. And now I'm just gonna go 7 again to the Luffy. He's thinking of whether he wants to block this or 2K, and now I am just hoping and praying he doesn't top deck a 5-cost Luffy, and you know, just going with the board that he has right now. Uta's great because I can just block and get rid of that 4-cost Luffy, but it still doesn't feel fantastic looking at what my opponent has. And I think he did end up getting the 5-cost Luffy there, which was definitely the bane of my existence. I know that, you know, if he just plays that, it's pretty much game over. But we'll see the 7K swing more than likely just coming at life. And with 2 Dawn active though, he does know that if he just plays Luffy and then attaches the rest of the Dawn, there is a world where I get out of it. But, you know, I have no events in hand at the moment, bricked up with a lot of 10 costs and 3-cost Namis. He doesn't know that, but a 9K swing coming down at life. This will basically tell him whether I have an event or not, because if I just block with Queen, then that means that I probably more than likely don't have an event, and yeah, he's looking pretty safe to just get out of my attacks the following turn. We just don't have enough Dawn to be doing a lot of things, especially after using Uta as well. So we Dawn -2 with Guild the previous turn, and then Uta'd. So definitely not my best moment, but he passes it over. We've got, I believe, 4 cards in hand, and I'm like, it's either 4 or 5. And yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm like, do I have enough to get through this? Probably not. Just go 6/6, and then he's got Chopper Blocker. We've already used the why am I forgetting the name of it? We've already used all of our sugars, so it's not looking good. But I just wanted to upload this match because I thought it was interesting. And it kind of boiled down to, you know, one simple mistake on a turn basically decided the outcome of the later stages of the match. I think that just going blockers on that one turn probably would have allowed me to get to a spot where I'd have been really comfortable. But I will just go 9 at life. I'm like, all right, this forces guard point or whatever, and you know, he also has Red Hawk, so I'm like, it's guard point, Red Hawk, doesn't matter. He will just Red Hawk though. And now I have 3 Dawn. It's going to be a 6K, 7K. He's just able to get out of that, yeah. So 6K, 2K counter, and then he Bad Manners kick courses for the last 2 cards, not having to use the Chopper Blocker. But he knew he had it after the way that I had swung. But good game nonetheless. Always love the matches. Did feel like I was trying to high roll a little bit, but I was shocked that I didn't see the 7-cost Luffy. I felt like that would have put me at least in a spot that I didn't have to use the guild ability. But you live and you learn, you know, and sometimes they're with you, sometimes they're not. But let me know your thoughts, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. As always, peace.